Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is Krista here to do the weekly reading for the sign of Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you don't know what your Moon and Rising sign is, Virgo, there's a link in the description box where you can learn your whole birth chart. And that way, if you want additional messages for the week, you can always look at your Moon and Rising sign reading as well as your Sun sign reading today. So this is for this is for August 1st until August 8th. Wow, time is slipping by. So we are going to be doing a 5-card spread today using the Wisdom of the Oracle deck here. And then for additional messages, we'll be using a card each of the Healing with the Angels Tarot and the Medicine card Tarot. So this is a general reading, and I encourage you to apply whatever is helpful and healing in the reading to whatever is most prominent in your life this week, Virgo. So we're looking for 5 jumper cards, and then we'll begin your reading. What does Virgo need to know? So just looking for one more jumper card here, Virgo, and then we'll begin. All right. Sweet. So I'm going to go over which card is in which position for you. I'm going to give a general overview, and then we'll look at them one by one together. Okay, you can see that sort of. Here we go. Okay, Virgo. So in your central position is the tick-tock card. In the energy that you're just leaving or bringing into the week is between worlds. What is working for you is a leg up. What is working against you or that you need to become aware of is time for a nap. And your probable outcome card for the week is Treasure Island. So 2 really prominent high energy cards are the TikTok and the Treasure Island cards. I'm not saying other cards aren't as important or as high energy. I'm just saying that this deck doesn't necessarily have a major arcana set to the minor arcana, and this is how I treat them. So I treat specific cards in the deck that have high energy, high magic, or law of attraction material associated with them as high energy or magic cards. So that's why I look at them this way. So TikTok being in your central position, this is representing you this week, and TikTok's message is all about timelessness, sheer timelessness, not having a schedule. And this could be, sure, it could be in the material world, but it could be in a very spiritual sense. Wow, I couldn't find that word. So this could be about the material world, but more likely it is about this spiritual sense, right? That there is no time, that there is only cycles, that there is only nature. The time that we've created, as in clocks and calendars, etc., is really about the way that individual human beings manage time, or as societies manage time, as opposed to the cycles that we deny much of the time in the developed world, that we are also taught to become almost opposed to, right? When we look at calendars as opposed to seasons, when we look at clocks as opposed to cycles. So this is what it's talking about here. It's talking about cyclical events, cycles, a sense of timelessness, a sense of going on eternity. So this is also about souls. This is, I think, in a greater sense, more about souls and the soul's purpose and belonging as a soul attached to the souls of all humanity is attached to the all spark or the source, if you will. So there's a great deal of spirituality going on here if you are available to it or if you are open to it. In the energy that you're just coming out of or bringing into the week is between worlds. And this is really just about literally stepping between what you believe that means for you. It could be a beginning of an understanding of cycles versus time, or it could be an application. See, knowledge is power up until it's not applied. Knowledge is kind of power unless it's applied. So this is almost to me saying that this is the application of that knowledge into your life where you say, oh, you are a timeless being. You are a timeless soul. You belong here, there, and everywhere. And that clocks are made to conform and construct. They're not bad in and of themselves, but they can create a containment, um, a rulership, an ownership, a control mechanism that really truly doesn't exist. So just be aware of getting caught up in time and control mechanisms here as opposed to cycles, etc. And I really feel like you're able to bring this into fruition as well, is because what we have in the probable outcome card is the balance between the mind and the emotions, and we have pure law of attraction. This is another high energy, high magic card here. And we're going to talk about this in detail in just a second. I'm also going to show these up close to you in just a moment. Let's get through what's working for and against you, and then we'll look at these up close. What's working for you is a leg up. This is really about giving and receiving. This is about letting someone look out for you and you just appreciating it. Just accept it. And it's also about giving back. The second that you are able to give back, not always to that one person, but to someone else in a way that they couldn't or that someone else can't. There's always a way that you can give back to somebody in your own unique way. And if it's done freely, it feels good for both parties. Everyone wins, and vice versa. You have to be able to receive freely when someone else is able to do something kind for you, in order to have both parties win as well. So it's a beautiful card to have. Of course, it's working for you. What could be working against you or what you may need to be aware of. So two themes here. What could be working against you in terms of time for a nap is that you're missing golden opportunities by resisting this. Or you could be missing golden opportunities by zoning out, or becoming distracted. And listen, it's summer, and this comes with no judgment. I'm just saying, if it's something that you're not aware of, or that you're like, why does this keep happening? This could be the reason why. So just something to contemplate. On the other hand, it could also be a message that you need to give yourself some rest, that you're not getting enough rest. You're not living in the moment. You're not living in this sense of cycles and being connected to everything because you're tuning out. So just be aware here that you're not tuning out too much or being distracted too much. Or on the other hand, if you're not getting enough rest, or you feel like you're being pulled in too many different directions, that rest could be a golden opportunity for you to feel fulfilled and healthy and be able to receive properly and to get that foot into the world that you want, to really move into the world that you want, okay? Because this is available to you, like I said, and it's really important. Knowledge is a certain type of power. Great. But knowledge without action is useless. It's a powerlessness. So be aware here that you have the knowledge to move forward, to forge ahead, that you need to bring into your life, that you need to uh, execute, right? That you need to bring this into fruition. You need to act upon this knowledge. And then in the Treasure Island, like I said, is really beautiful because it's about bringing higher truths to fruition for yourself. So I see you saying this week, for example, Virgo, oh yeah, no, I totally get it. I'm ready. I'm going to move into it. I'm moving into this essence, to this formlessness, to this cyclical nature, to this timelessness, which belongs to everybody, which is part of the greater soul, greater spirit, greater humanity. And this is where I find my riches and my true power and my goal setting, and my giving and my receiving. Okay. And just briefly here, I want to look at two different ways to go about the light and the dark, the female and male, the up and down, the night and dark, night and day. And it's because we're looking at two sort of a division of themes here, right? So we have the black and white, and we have the color, we have the air element, we have the emotion element. So just something to contemplate as well, that you're walking through something. You could be coming out of a dark time for yourself, right? Literally. That you are saying, look, I don't want this anymore, but it's up to you to be able to do it. You have all the information you need at this point, Virgo. It's time to make that move, because um, it will bring you to this higher consciousness, this great balance. And when we look at this here, we see capital L, law of attraction. And this is love, prosperity, joy, forgiveness, all with capital letters. This is really strong energy card. So no small, um, no small messages or feelings here. So let's look at these one by one briefly. I encourage you to use your intuition when examining these cards as well. So if there's something in the color or the theme and the imagery that you're seeing that appeals to you this week, absolutely take that, whether or not I bring it up, because that's very personal to you, and I encourage you to do this. So again, we see this clock. Not only is it being given freely, sort of like let go, right? It's got a little balloon on it. It's going to fly into the air. This is literal timelessness. This is about you capitalizing on your own time, your own methodology. Another really cool way I've learned how to read this as well is to remember what Einstein said about time. And he said that time is relative. And what's curious about the way that he explained this, this truth about time, is the way that he explained it was to state not in scientific terms, but in personal terms. He said, imagine the time you spend taking a test and it's an hour. I'm paraphrasing, by the way. And the time you spend with a beautiful woman and it's an hour. And that hour is going to feel very different, but it's the same hour. It's still 60 minutes. But that time spent with a beautiful woman is going to feel, for a man who's interested in women, is going to feel like it was a minute. He could do it for hours and hours and hours, right? He can't get enough of it. And in that same 60 minutes, you could go write an exam and be like, is this ever going to end, right? So just another curious way to consider time this week. It is relative. So consider how that works for you this week, Virgo. And like I said, with the between worlds, we're coming out of the dark and into the light. There is a great celebratory energy here that awaits you, that you have to allow yourself. This is something that you need to believe that you not only deserve, but it belongs to you. Like, you've worked for this, you understand this, you know now. You know what the dark is like, you know what it brings you, you know what it gets you, you know what it feels like. If you're ready to come out of it, you don't have to forget it. You don't have to say it never happened. But you can also say it was an experience. It was a time in my life that I'm willing to say, you know what? It's a chapter, right? Another way that we look at time, or elements of time, or the way that time behaves, right? As a construct, as opposed to a cycle, or as opposed to nature, right? The way seasons, etc. It's to say, that cycle is over, that chapter is over. Let's move into a different phase of your life. So I really think this is beautiful for you, particularly with an outcome card such as Treasure Island, because it's so heavy. Like, and again, when I say heavy, I just mean as beauty, um, as a heavy magic, not as a negative, just as something that's extremely powerful. So with a leg up, you can see that this could be a parental relationship. You could feel like a parent. It could be between someone who acts like a parent or someone who's looking out for you. But just be reassured here, Virgo, that whatever someone is bringing into your life in order to help make, improve your life on any level, that they're getting something from it automatically. It's given freely. And recall that whenever you give something freely, it's the same energy. You don't have to do the exact same thing, okay? It's another way to view this is kind of like a pay it forward, okay? So just as long as you recall here to receive freely and to give freely of what you can, give it with love, receive it with love, and it leads to enormous beauty in the world. Whenever you have that type of ripple effect, it creates a win-win for everybody. This is its own kind of beauty. It's a way to inject beauty and trust and faith into the world. So if you can here, just recall, if someone's able to help you, I don't care what level or what it's for, really, I don't. All that matters is this: you go, thank you. This couldn't have come at a better time. I really appreciate this. Rest assured, I'm going to give back to the world somehow, some way. And just leave it at that, because that's exactly what'll happen. And in the meantime, you win, they win. So just let it be. Don't over-examine that. Time for a nap. Like I mentioned, there could be two elements to this. You're either being distracted or there is something golden. There's a golden opportunity within a distraction, within a nap or a time out here. So just be aware of how you're spending your time when you're off, so to speak, okay? And that it's not distracting you to the point of not paying attention to how higher themes of giving and taking, and certainly when we come to your outcome of the law of attraction is working for you. So just recall here, you do need rest, absolutely. You do need time off. Just recall that there is a balance here. And this is how I'm reading the balance between these two worlds, right? Between the mind and the emotions. We have one of the humankind's most ancient symbols for the universe. This is another reason why I read this as a highly powerful card, because anytime we see the turtle, we see ancient civilization here. This is the cosmos, okay? And then, of course, on his or her back, we have this huge treasure chest with gold and stars and hearts. And there's a great deal of beauty and joy and truth and forgiveness and joy, if I haven't said it. But I really want to emphasize this element of, it's the law of those elements. When I say truth, I mean capital T truth, okay? Like, this is no small beans, and so don't take this for granted either. If you feel that you're on to something, Virgo, and again, it almost doesn't matter on what level, travel, health, beauty, business, relationships, romance, it doesn't matter. Whatever this appeals to you at this week, when you contemplate this, just remember that you're vibrating at a higher level when it comes to that or those instances. So if it's all of those things, wonderful. It's capital R relationship, it's capital L love, it's capital F forgiveness, okay? So big time experience with the law of attraction here is its general theme. So in terms of contemplating words or themes this week, just remember that as an outcome card, I do believe you're working at a much, much higher level than, honestly, Virgo, I would say, like a lot of other signs in general. Not that they're not able to achieve things or recognize things, but if I can assess your readings over the past, say, 6 weeks, like, this has been an ongoing awakening for you. So I feel very strongly and very confident as well in saying that this is really where you belong. Like, if you're working at law of attraction level this week, then awesome, because you've done the hard work to get here and you know exactly what that means for you, because you've done the work. You've seen and experienced the dark, and you've seen and experienced the light, and you have what it takes to move into that vibration, because you're aware. That knowledge, like I said, is power. So, use it to your advantage. Don't abuse it, obviously. Any power can be abused, but use it to your advantage to make your life better, to improve your life, because you truly deserve it, and you can offer so much to the world by living in that state. So I'm getting a lot of cards sort of turning over on each other. Just looking for one jumper from the deck to polish off this reading for you. Here we go, nature. So again, just in terms here with the timelessness, I do feel like there's a sense of if you feel hurried or rushed at all this week in terms of clocks and calendars, please take a moment and zen out. Even if you have to, sort of breathe a little differently, be aware of your breath for 30 seconds and just center yourself this week, Virgo, because not that clocks and calendars aren't important, but it's not the be all. It's not everything. This is real time, okay? Nature, cycles, timelessness, the soul. If we can exist in these places, we can almost feel like pretty zen most of the time, right? Because we know there is no hurry. There is no past, there is no future. Everything is just literally right now. So if you can pay attention to being in the moment. If you become overwhelmed at those times, I think that you might find it easier to do that by even contemplating themes of nature, if that helps. I know it helps me. If ever I feel rushed or that things are overwhelming, I oftentimes, believe it or not, will just contemplate a leaf. I have plants in the home, I'll just look at it for 30 seconds. It won't take long, especially if it becomes a habit, and you can just sort of talk yourself down, talk yourself out of this feeling of panic, if you will. So just remember, there are ways out of and into anything. And nature is a beautiful way to recall that we're all one, and you're doing the best you can, and yes, you are a child of God, and you're doing just fine, Virgo. Don't stress yourself out here. The beaver. So the beaver's keyword is builder. You are building a beautiful world for yourself. I was going to say life for yourself, but this is even bigger than a life for yourself, because when we build a world for ourselves that is injected with love and truth and devotion and win-win for everybody, this creates a greater world for everybody. This is a ripple effect in the ocean of emotion, if you will. So thank you so much for creating a beautiful world for yourself, building a better world for yourself. Everyone benefits from this. And keep it up, Virgo. I know you're doing hard work here, and I really feel like it's paying off for you. So if you have a second, please let me know how this works out for you. I'm genuinely curious. And if you're not already, subscribe to my channel, because I upload videos for your sign every single week. So until we meet next time, take good care, Virgo. Bye for now.